Hello everyone and welcome back to Formal Reviews. I'm your host Formal, and today I'll be doing another comic book review. The comic I will be taking a look at today is the first issue of the Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries published by DC Comics in 2021. Let's get started by going over who worked on this issue. The pencils, cover art, and inks were done by Dario Brizulia. The scripts written by Ivan Cohen. Colors done by Franco Rezko? And lettering done by Sadia Timofonte. The editor of this issue was Michael McAllister. And with all that out of the way, let's get started on the review outline. In this review, I will briefly go over 4 aspects of the comic book while doing my best to avoid any major spoilers. Those are the cover art, how much I enjoyed the overall story of the issue, my favorite panel or panels, and my thoughts on the artwork throughout the book. Starting with the cover art of this issue, I really enjoyed the art style of this a lot. Growing up, I was always a massive Scooby-Doo fan, and this representation of Scooby and Shaggy is one of my favorites. With that being said, I also really like the way Batman looks also. For me, this ranks pretty high on the comic depictions of Batman that I enjoy the most. Not only do I like the way the characters are depicted, but the environment they are in. From what I can see, it looks like they're in a grimy Gotham alleyway, while just being spotted by a searchlight. I also like the little detail of what seems to be a puddle by Scooby's back paw and Batman's right foot. I've always appreciated the details that are worked into the cover arts to make them more appealing and interesting to look at. The last thing I'm going to say about the cover art is that the title of the book is really well made, mixing the Batman and Scooby-Doo text styles to make a really clean looking title that I really enjoy. This story is exactly what I had hoped for my first Scooby-Doo comic adventure. Not only does it feel like a classic Scooby-Doo story, but the inclusion of Batman, Robin, and Alfred just make it better. While reading this, I couldn't help but be reminded of the crossovers that Scooby and the gang have had with Batman in the past. I always enjoyed those episodes as a kid, and this issue felt like it was just reading one of those episodes. It did a good job of making me want to come back for the rest of these series to see what other adventures Scooby and the gang will get into while they help Batman. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit here and pick 2 panels from this comic that I thought represented Scooby-Doo the best. These would be the first 2 panels of page 19. Just after encountering Batman, Scooby is tempted with a Scooby snack. The next panel shows Velma and Shaggy trying to hold him back while trying to get him to resist going for the snack. As anyone would have suspected, this does not go to plan, as Scooby is trying to pull his way to the snack, all while saying he is trying to resist. This really shows how much Scooby thinks with his stomach and exactly how I would picture him acting in this situation. I'm going to say that I really enjoyed the art style of this book. This probably comes as no surprise since the same person worked on the cover art that did the pencils and inks for this issue. This just feels like a classic Scooby-Doo episode would look like, from what I remember at least. This also is a variation of Batman I like due to the more cartoony look. For me, Batman always looks coolest when he's drawn a more cartoony or animated look than when he's drawn with a more realistic or darker representation. This art throughout the book just worked for me. Whether it be the characters or the backgrounds, I think it all just came together to make a pretty good issue. Overall, I really enjoyed this issue. Everything kind of just hit home for me. Not only was I enjoying a new story, but also getting some nostalgia hits while doing so. Individually, the parts are all good, but together I feel like it makes a great comic experience. With that being said, I would definitely recommend this book, especially if you are like me who grew up watching Scooby-Doo. I think you will really enjoy this issue. Now let's get into the ratings. For cover art, I'm going to rate it a 8.5 out of 10. Story, a 7 out of 10. Artwork, a 7 out of 10. An overall score, I'm going to rate this book at a 7.5 out of 10. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has made it this far in the video. If you have anything you think I should add to these reviews, let me know in the comments. While you're down there, also let me know what you thought of this issue if you've read it or if you plan on reading it after watching this video. As of recording this, I only have access to DC Universe Infinite, so if there are any books you'd like me to take a look at from there, let me know. I've been your host Formal, and I will see you in the next video.